Hello guys, Salwyns here bringing you another League of Legends guide. Today we're having a look at Varus, one of the new champions in the recent patch. Some people say he's overpowered, some people say he's not. Personally, I don't really find him overpowered, but I find him strong if he's played right. And that is why we are here today, for us to learn how to play Varus the right way. Blitzcrank wanting to invade, whatever. We'll go over that in a bit, I'll talk to him. Anyway, Varus is one of those champions that have skill shots. Much like Israel, he relies on hitting set skill shots in order to do any real amount of damage. Like most champions, Varus can auto attack, and as an AD carry, auto attacks do damage, and it's all yay and fantastic. But his main damage comes from hitting those skill shots and proccing his W. Now we'll get to the W in just a second, but the thing with Varus is, in order to hit his skill shots, well, it requires practice, obviously, but in lane, it is a very good idea to have some sort of champion with you that can root or stun champions. That way you are guaranteed the skill shot hitting, and the skill shot hitting will then give you a lot more damage and a great burst damage as well. Varus is one of those champions who has, well, two things going for him. He has pretty decent burst. It's not amazing. It's not like Graves burst damage where you just blow people up, but it is pretty decent burst, and he also has pretty decent sustained damage. And like he's pretty good overall. But the thing is, he's not either or. He doesn't have great sustained damage. He doesn't have great burst damage. He is mediocre in all ways, and therefore you have to kind of combine the elements of Varus, meaning you have to use the spells correctly, you have to hit your skill shots, and you have to do it, well, in the right order, so to speak. So, as you can see, I'm with the Blitzcrank here, and I'll take it off lock camera now. I'm with the Blitzcrank here, and that is a really good champion to have with Varus, because Blitzcrank has one pull, which stuns kinda the target, and a knock up which stuns kinda the target. It actually knocks them up, but you get my meaning, and that helps you hit those very important skill shots. So that is a very good laning partner. As you can see here, I just hit level 2, so I'm just auto hitting Vayne right now. There we go, Q over her to get the proc damage from the E, and we see what's her face coming into the lane here. I just flash away. I don't want to take too much damage. I want to be able to stay in lane. Now, as we can see here, Vayne here down to quite low HP, and she started Doran's Blade. This means I have better sustain than her in lane, even though... Alright, here we go. The heal baits. Blitzcrank with a good pull there, the knock up, and there's the heal. And, oh yeah, look at their health compared to ours. We're both around half health. Half health. Can't really say sounds today. But the thing is, I got another healing potion and I got one ticking, so I will be at full health as soon as I use the second healing potion. Vayne will not. Here we see Blitzcrank knocking him up. I charge my skill shot, I charge the Q as I'm walking up. So when Blitzcrank knocks him up, I know exactly where to shoot the arrow, and I know that it will hit him for maximum damage. Anyway, Blitzcrank gets the kill. That's a bit unfortunate, but then again, we are ahead in lane by now 2 kills. By now 1 kill. So it's worth it. Anyway, let's go over the kills or the skills while Blitzcrank is dead. I'll turn the sound down just a little bit more. It feels kind of loud. Maybe it's just my headphones. Anyway, the passive, really great. On champion kill or assist, Varus gains 40% attack speed for 6 seconds. On a minion kill, Varus gains 20% for 3 seconds. So it's half. His Q, piercing arrow. As you can see, it charges up. I use SmartCast, so I hold down the Q button, and that way it charges up but doesn't fire. If you have normal shooting, you click it once to start charging, you click it another time to let it go, like release the arrow. Anyway, first cast, yeah, and that is what I just said. Varus fires, dealing 43 plus 78 to 65 plus 129. That is amazing scaling. That is almost 2-point scaling. So really nice scaling on that one. So if you have a chance to charge it up, that does amazing damage. Anyway, while preparing to shoot while charging up, so to speak. Movement speed is slowed by 20%. After 4 seconds, piercing arrow fails, but refunds half its mana cost. So you lose it if you don't fire it within 4 seconds. Alright, not too bad. The W, one of the things I find most alluring about Varus. Passive. Varus basic attack deals 10 plus 0 bonus magic damage and apply blight for 6 seconds, stacks 3 times. As you see, oh, he doesn't get the catch. Varus' other abilities detonate blight, dealing magic damage equal to 2% of the target's maximum health per stack, max 360 damage to minions and monsters. So it's capped against, well, minions and dragon and baron. So it's not going to be absolutely amazing. But it has sort of the same effect as, what should we say, Cockmor's W. I think it is. Yeah, Cockmor's W. In the sense that it deals magic damage equal to percentage health. So at 3 stacks, that is 6% health at level 1. At rank 1, so to speak. So at rank 1, the 3 stack proc, when triggered by Q or E, deals 6% health. So to Vayne, she has almost 1,000. So that will be around 60 bonus damage that you get for free. And that is magic damage. It is mitigatable. Mitigated. No clue how she hit that max range stun. That was crazy. Anyway, I do have the healing potions. It is mitigatable. I don't really think that's a word, but whatever. CSing with the Q. By resistance, but still, you have AD as your main, so doing magic damage on the side is pretty decent. At least until late game, where all the tanks have magic resistance. Moving on to the E, Hail of Arrows. Varus fires a hail of arrows that deals 65 plus 18 physical damage and desecrates the ground for 4 seconds. Desecrated ground slows enemy movement speed by 25% and reduces healing effects by 50%. So it has both a slow and a healing reduction, sort of like Misfortune's W. Anyway, we see here, what's he called? Blitzcrank goes in, gets the knock up. I use my ultimate to keep her here. That way she stays in the blight so that Nidalee cannot get the heal on her. Then I make sure I get my stacks to 3, fire the hail of arrows as you saw, and then the Q across. The Q, I don't charge it up. I just want the burst instant damage for maximum, well, kill potential in that situation. And I do that every time. When I'm in a team fight, or something like that, I just fire it instantly. I don't charge it up unless I'm kiting around. If I'm running on the outside of the team fight, I charge it up. If I'm in the team fight with someone on me, or generally just taking damage, I just kite and use the thing to proc every 3 attacks. The same with my hail of arrows. Alright, so the last ability is ultimate. Varus flings out a tendril of corruption that deals 150 plus 0 magic damage and demobilizes the first enemy champion hit for 2 seconds. The corruption then spreads towards nearby uninfected enemy champions, applying the same damage and demobilize if it reaches them. So that is kind of a chain crowd control we have going here. When you hit the first one, that would normally in a teamfight situation be the tank. You root them for 2 seconds. Then when the other people start to run past that tank, it will spread to them and slow them as well, or root them for 2 seconds. That is really, really powerful if used right in the right way. Anyway, as we can see here, Blitzcrank failing his thing, but my Q already doing pretty decent amount of damage. Now you can see I've started with Vampiric Scepter and Double Dorans. This is one of the setups I really like to use on champions, where either it's a tough lane, or if I lack sustain. For example, as this lane with Blitzcrank against a Nidalee, she has a heal and we don't. So I like to have that extra sustain in the lane. Anyway, Nidalee here, my ultimate comes up, I shoot it on her, hail of arrows to proc the stacks from the W, and that gets us the kill again. So another kill in lane. We've been having a pretty good lane here. I really like this Blitzcrank. He had pretty good, what's it called? Well, we had a pretty good team play going. I ping him back. I don't like people. I don't like my support to hit my minions because it kind of flusters me, so to speak. It makes it harder for me to get my CS. Now, I don't want to kill the turret. A lot of people will just start hitting the turret. It's like, oh, we get free damage on the turret, but I don't want to kill the turret. Because at this point in time, we are absolutely dominating this lane. Every time we get into lane, we have the chance of killing them. If we kill this turret, they will be able to stand up here, and the jungler will be able to gank us really, really easily. However, if we leave the turret up, the minions will be killed here, so we constantly can farm pretty safely with just a ward out here. So that is the reason we don't kill the turret. Anyway, you can see me going for pickaxe, and that is because I go for Infinity's Edge. Varus, with that amazing scaling and pretty decent range, is one of the champions that I build pure damage. I build IE, Phantom Dancer, Last Whisper, just to get maximum amount of damage. And on Vayne, for example, I would build Bloodthirster, because she has really good just auto attack damage. She doesn't have that great escapes, or rather she doesn't have an escape. Neither does Varus, but Varus does a lot more damage based off of AD than Vayne. Vayne scales really well because she does the true damage, and Varus is more pure AD. So I don't really feel I need the sustain on Varus, because I have the ultimate root, I have the slow from my E. Anyway, charge up the arrow, wait for the pick, and he then fails it, and I fail mine as well. But that is how you want to do it. As soon as you see your support go in for some action, if you have, for example, a Taric, as soon as you start him move towards the stun, start charging up your arrow and get ready to hit that target stunned. If you have Leona, as soon as you see her E across, start charging your arrow when she cues the enemy. Or if you charged up before she went into E, because you talk with her, you start charging it up. As soon as that target is rooted or stunned, release the arrow for maximum damage. That is how you want to do this. Anyway, as we can see here, the damage I do on Vayne, the auto attacks, as you can see, don't do that much damage, but as soon as I let my arrow go and proc that E charge, I do a lot of damage. As we can see there, Blitzcrank knocks him up. That means I have a 100% chance of hitting my ultimate, which is also a skill shot much like the Q. So I just wait for him to do that, I Q across to secure the hit. In a team fight you won't always have this opportunity, but you will have a lot more targets, so there's a lot bigger of a chance that you hit people. As you can see, when fully charged, the arrow really does work. Anyway, Shaco here really taking some damage. Now I really want to get this blue, but Sejuani comes up, I charge the arrow, she gets stunned and makes it easier for me to hit, and she goes down really, really easily. Nidalee comes in, going around for Shaco and dies as well. So for my team right now, this is going absolutely spectacularly well. I mean, I've been involved in 9 of the 15 kills on my team, and the enemy team only has 3 kills. So we're doing really, really well. And this means I can start to fool around a little bit more than I would normally do, like take chances and just have more fun with it. Normally if you're behind, instead of getting really, really angry, just get more focused. If you see you're losing, try to carry. Always try to carry. If you can't carry, well, then you can't carry. I mean, there are certain situations where you can't carry, but if you get behind, just try to really focus. Really do things the right way. Don't just start doing things half-assed, because then you will definitely lose. If you start to try when you get behind, you might just win. Anyway, I got 2,000 gold. My minions are pushed to their turret, so I go back to buy. And Vayne and Nidalee comes down to gank me, and I taunt them a little bit. A lot of people probably don't find it funny to get taunted, but then again, I don't really flame them. I just tease them a little bit. I think that's okay, just having a little bit of fun with people. Anyway, Blitzcrank here asking about my ELO, and me saying it's a minuscule 16-15. I do believe, now I might be completely wrong, but I do believe I could hit 2k ELO within 2 weeks without much problem. Probably within a week if I actually started to go for it. But I have too much of a temper to play ranked games their Vayne queuing out of the ultimate. I have too much of a temper to play ranked games because I really want to win when I play for rating. So whenever people make me lose, I rage way too much, and I don't like raging. Kind of takes the fun out of the game, so I mostly just play normals with the friends, just fuck around. And I find that more entertaining right now as I'm waiting for Diablo 3, which is going to be awesome. It's going to be streaming that constantly on Twitch. I just keep plugging that. And again, it's what I do's. Anyway, as you can see here, I just want to push the minions up, and then I can just kill them. I have both my summoners ready. I can simply just go fuck about, fuck around, whatever you want to call it. I can do it. And now I take down the turret so that I have enough money for my IE. Just lifesteal a little bit off the minions. But whenever you can get a certain advantage, like finishing your IE, or getting to the point where you want to go for Baron or something, just quickly take down the turret. But until then, just let the minions auto attack it until they die. That gets you further ahead in the lane. It means that you can still keep the lane under your in your favor. If you're winning the lane and they have a turret, they cannot just go back and sit and safe. They have to come out here in this area in order to see us, and that's when you can put damage on them. So let's just go over that real quick. Over Varus real quick. What you want to do with Varus is you want to have a support that has a stun or a root, so that you can ensure that you hit those skill shots, because that makes him twice as dangerous in the laning phase. Whenever you're ahead in the lane, do not kill the turret unless it gives you a significant advantage such as IE. And in team fights, just move around the edges. You have great range, you have good poke, and you have good control, so just move around the edges. Don't run into the middle. For example, with Graves, you want to just get up there and blow your load all over their faces, but you don't want to do that with Varus. You want to stay at range and keep consistent damage, keep getting those stacks up, and then proc them with your abilities. That is how you want to do this. And with Varus, just build straight for that amazing damage. Much like Graves, you just build straight for damage, because that is how you deal the damage with Varus. You don't need the sustain unless you make a mistake. Or unless the other team has a Jax, and then you're fucked. That's pretty much how it goes. So this game should be over quite soon. It's 19-5, and I'm just AFK farming. I don't really give a fuck at this point. We're so far ahead, and whenever I get this far ahead in lane, I always just sit in AFK farm. Unless my team is losing really hard, I just sit in AFK farm. Because if I'm really far ahead, and I get further ahead, I can carry any team fight. So even if my team loses the team fight top, as is happening now, it doesn't matter, because as soon as we get to the point where we're going to be fighting for Dragon, or middle turrets, or Baron, I'm going to kill everybody and it's not going to matter. So I just sit in AFK farm, get even further ahead, just because I can. And that is one of the things you want to start to think about whenever you're playing. Like, when do they need me? When is it so close that I cannot just carry? If, for example, if your bot lane is behind 0-5 or something, their AD carry has 5 kills, you might want to consider helping out in all the team fights, because if not, their AD carry can get really far ahead. However, if the lanes are even and you're up 3 kills on your lane, like 3-0, you can consider just sitting in your lane and farming and getting even further ahead, because you have that lane control. So you can simply just control the pace of your lane and let your teammates do the fighting. Of course, if you have the possibility, if you're mid lane or bot lane, you want to go help for Dragon. And of course, if you're top lane, well, you want to go help for Baron, duh. But try to consider, when do I need to help my team and when can I AFK farm? One of the things a lot of people do wrong is they go into lane. Oh, we see Sejuani coming in here. Just get the 3 hits on him, then I use my ultimate, drop the hail of arrows and the Q across, and she just dies. Anyway, one of the things a lot of people do is they start in laning phase. Oh, let's get this kill. and then we'll talk about that afterwards. As you can see, I charged up the arrow, but Blitzcrank didn't hook or knock up while I was in range, so I had to wait. But anyway, get 2 hits on him, tried to drop the arrows on him, failed that arrow because I thought he would run that way. And now, of course, he's coming back, so I just one-shot him. Anyway, back to what I was saying. One of the things a lot of people do is they start in the laning phase, they get 2 kills ahead, or maybe 2 kills behind, I don't know. And one of the turrets die, and then they start roaming. They keep going into the enemy jungle, to the mid lane to gank, to the top lane to gank, into the enemy jungle, and they fall behind 70 to 100 CS. Even if you're up 2 kills, if you're 100 CS behind the enemy AD carry, you're gonna lose the fight. And that is really, really important. Always keep your lane pushed. Keep farming. Don't overextend in your lane. That's not what I'm saying. Just keep it pushed. Because if you have high CS and a good score, you're going to be unstoppable in most cases. Alright guys, thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video. Please leave the video a like and or a thumbs up and or favorites and all that good stuff, because that makes me happy. And if I'm happy, I make more videos, and then you guys will be happy, hopefully. Otherwise you wouldn't leave the thumbs up, I think. Anyway, thanks for watching, and until next time, have a great day.